Hi, I'm Simon and welcome to the 6th episode of How Far on One Life. It doesn't seem like that long ago that I was making the Space Invaders episode, but it's actually been more than a year. It's just amazing how quickly time flies. But here I am again, sharing with you another game that I loved playing as a kid. In fact, I still love playing it now. It's a fantastic game. In episode 4, I showed you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and mentioned that when I was a teenager, I used to go down to my local ice rink, mainly to play arcade games, and it was probably Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that stole the most money. Well, I didn't know stealing. I enjoyed every minute of it, but it's the game that I spent the most money on, I think. This game that I'm going to show you today is probably the one that took the second largest amount of money. It's also a side-scrolling beat-em-up and a fan favourite with many people. It's Capcom's seminal brawler, Final Fight. Now, like many of you, I've played this on other systems. I had it on the Amiga, which was interesting. It had large sprites, but something about it didn't quite capture the magic of the arcade original. I also had it on the Super Famicom, a very good port, but only a one-player, and one of the characters was missing. Incidentally, my favourite character from the game, Guy. They did release a later edition called Final Fight Guy, where they had him in it, but I never owned that version. Now, I'm going to be running it on the Mac because I don't have my Super Famicom here with me today, and it's actually the arcade version that is my favourite, that I have the most and the happiest memories of playing. But one thing that is a little bit of a shame is I've got 2 ROMs for Final Fight, but neither of them work with MAME OS X. But strangely, there is a bootleg version of it that does work called Final Fight Crash. So I'm going to be using that today because, as far as I can tell, apart from the name, there is no difference between the two. Well, at least as far as I've played into the game, I can't tell any difference. I don't think it's easier or harder. It all seems pretty much the same to me. But I will be using a new arcade stick. This is something that I bought in China for 100 renminbi, which is about £10. It's a Chinese branded arcade stick. It's not bad, you know, it's not up to the sort of level you'd expect if you bought something with like Sanwa parts, but it is, it's micro switch, the buttons are quite good, and it's good enough for playing a bit of Final Fight on the Mac. So let's take a look and see how far I can get on one life. Well, for the few of you out there that don't know about the story to this game, we might as well have a look at this intro sequence where it tells you that basically Mike Hagar, the new mayor of the city, is not giving in to the gang, the Mad Gears. And so these criminals have hatched a plan to try and twist his arm and influence him by kidnapping his daughter. Not a very nice bunch of people, are they? Well, here you can see they're phoning him up. And turn on your TV, Mike. There's a rather ugly guy with an insanely large mouth saying that he's going to do nasty things to your daughter. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to cave? Like hell he is. Ha ha ha. Oh look, he's got help. Cody. Oh yes, that's Jessica, my childhood sweetheart. I must rescue her. She's my friend too, says Guy. Count me in. Let's go and kick some Mad Gear butt. Well, maybe they won't because I'm controlling them. Okay, so as I said, Guy is my favourite character. Whenever I play this, I normally play Cody or Guy. Not much of a fan of Hagar, but he is still pretty good to use. But this is by far my favourite character. Unfortunately, he is the fastest character, which I like, but he's also the weakest. So it takes a little bit more of a beating to kill those enemies. Not such a problem. Ooh, look at this guy, Jay. Jay with his radioactive bad cape thing on. Aha, smash up a phone box, find 10 cents. Of course. And it's just one of the things I love about this. You smash up things like here, trash cans. Ah, well, you always find in a trash can. A gold bar, sure. Oh, nothing in that one, not lucky that time. Still takes a bit more of a beating. Whiskey, yeah, might want that in the middle of a street fight. A hamburger, probably not. What we got over here? Oh, a pipe. Now that's a bit more sensible. That's the kind of thing you're going to need in a fight. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Some of the things they choose to give you in this game when you smash up boxes, crates, trash cans. I mean, it can go from anything like here, a pipe, useful. A samurai sword, yes please. A knife, that's pretty good too. But a napkin, sometimes you get that, or a hat, please. Alright. Ah, you see what I did there? Did some super move by bashing both buttons together in your attack and jump. He does this move that clears out the enemy. Unfortunately, it does take a little bit of life from you, but it is pretty useful, as are these things. Barbecue, yummy, and samurai sword, yes please. There we go. This is going to make light work of these enemies. There's the big guy. Damned. Damned. I think it's a D or damno. I don't know. Oh, it's lucky there. Come on. Oh, there we go. Oh, you took my sword. Here we go. But. Oh. That's it. Oh, you sneaky big. Oh. Alright. Okay. There's a bit more action coming now. Oh. Just every time, that's just such a cheaty move. Anyway. Guy is coming to his end very quickly. Maybe that's why it's called Final Crash. It's just crashed. Well, there we go. Not my best attempt ever with one life. Sometimes I manage to get onto the beginning of the second level, but I usually get mauled by that first group of characters. Even though it replenishes your life bar, still you get a couple of those big Axel guys and a couple of the Roxy chicks bouncing around, kicking you, and forget it. I normally lose the life then. If it's a normal credit with 2 extra lives, then I can sometimes get onto the third level, but the end of level boss at the end of level 2 is pretty tricky, and I don't really have a very good technique for beating him flawlessly. He normally takes a life from me quite easily. But the game is still as much fun as it used to be back in 1989 when it came out. I mean, this game's 25 years old this year, but still great fun to play and can be found in various places. I've got it on, as I said, on the SNES, on the Amiga, but also there's the Arcade Perfect conversion on the PlayStation 2 Capcom collection, which is a very good title, well worth having. Unfortunately, I took my PlayStation 2 and all of my games back to the UK when I went back in January, so that's why I've had to use this version here, which is not really the best because it's a kind of crappy bootleg, but it's close enough and it gave me a good enough excuse to chat about and share the game with you guys. So of course, let me know what you think about it. I really love to hear your thoughts on this game. Are you good at it? Do you have fond memories of it? Or maybe you hate this game. Maybe it's one of your pet peeves, these kind of side-scrolling beat-em-ups. But I'd love to hear from you. So thank you very much for watching. From my spare room to wherever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye-bye.